The farmer's walk is one of the simplest exercises in existence, and it's also one of the easiest to get completely wrong. Done the right way, it quietly rebuilds your grip, posture, core, and the kind of full body strength that shows up in real life. But done the wrong way, and you'll spend months carrying weights around and wonder why you're still dealing with the same issues. The first mistake is going too light, and it's the one that disguises itself as a real workout when it isn't. You pick up a pair of dumbbells that feel manageable, walk for 30 or 40 seconds, set them down, and assume you did the work. The weights felt heavy enough by the end, your arms were tired, and the whole thing felt productive. But productive and effective are two very different things, and your body knows the difference even when your brain doesn't. Later on, I'm going to walk you through a 60-second test you can do at home that will expose exactly which of these 4 mistakes is the one holding you back the most. But for now, let's talk about the main culprits. Here's what's actually happening when you go too light. The farmer's walk builds strength through total body tension, and tension only develops when the load forces your body to fight to stay organized. A light weight lets your shoulders relax, your core go soft, and your grip stay comfortable. None of those 3 things should be happening during a real farmer's walk. Your traps should be firing to keep your shoulders pulled down and back. Your core should be locked in like someone is about to push you sideways, and your grip should be working hard enough that you're aware of it the entire time. When the weight is too light, none of that engagement happens, which means you're essentially just walking. The fix is to pick up something that makes the last 15 to 20 seconds of your carry feel genuinely difficult. If you can carry the weight for a full minute without your grip starting to slip, your posture starting to drift, or your breathing pattern changing, the load is too light to build the strength you're actually after. That tension is where the results live, and going heavier is what unlocks the version of your body that handles real-life loads without thinking about it. Now watch this clip right here, and try to see if you can see what the mistake is. The second mistake is one almost nobody realizes they're making, and it's the reason the farmer's walk feels like cardio instead of strength training. It has nothing to do with the weight and everything to do with how you move while you're carrying it. You grab the weights, start walking, and immediately treat it like a brisk lap around the gym. You walk at the same pace you'd walk through a parking lot, and you wonder why your results never seem to match the effort. The mistake is moving too fast. The farmer's walk is meant to be slow, deliberate, and controlled. And when you rush it, you strip away the exact thing that makes it work. Think about that for a second. When you walk quickly with heavy weights in your hands, momentum starts doing part of the job for you. Your steps get bouncy, your hips sway side to side to help propel you forward, and your core stops bracing because it doesn't have to. The whole movement becomes a series of small assists from your body's natural rhythm instead of a sustained demand on the muscles you're trying to strengthen. Slow it down to about half the speed of your normal walking pace, and everything changes. Your core has to stay engaged because there's no momentum to lean on. Your stabilizers have to work the entire time because each step lands with more intention. Your grip has to hold steady through a longer time under tension because the carry takes longer to complete. Take short, deliberate steps with your feet landing softly underneath you rather than reaching out in front. Keep your eyes forward and your chest tall. The weights should feel like they're trying to pull you out of position with every step, and your job is to refuse to let them. Now, the people who stay capable and pain-free into their 60s and beyond aren't the ones who trained the hardest when they were young. They're the ones who built bodies that were resilient from the ground up. That's the idea behind the Reset Your Body blueprint I put together. It's loaded with movements like dynamic mobility work, stretching, stability patterns, the overlooked stuff that keeps your joints healthy and your body feeling decades younger than it should. It's an organized guide that tells you exactly what to do to get your body feeling the way you want it to. If you're realizing your body needs more of this kind of work, check the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen. The third mistake is the one you probably can't see yourself making, which is part of why it's so common. It happens slowly, somewhere in the middle of the carry, and by the time you notice it, you've already lost most of the benefit. It has to do with what your upper body is doing under the load, and it happens the moment the weight starts to feel heavy. The mistake is letting your shoulders round forward and your chest collapse as you walk. The second the weights get heavy enough to challenge you, your body looks for the easiest way to keep moving. And the easiest way is almost always to let your shoulders drift toward the floor and your upper back round forward. It feels like nothing in the moment, but it's quietly turning a posture-building exercise into a posture-destroying one. Sound familiar? If you've ever finished a set of farmer's walks and noticed your upper back feeling tight or your neck feeling stiff, that's the rounding pattern showing up after the fact. The fix is to pull your shoulders down and back before you even pick up the weights, and to hold that position through the entire carry. Imagine someone has a string attached to the crown of your head, pulling you up toward the ceiling. Your chest stays tall, your shoulders sit back and slightly down, and your upper back stays active the whole way. That posture under load is what builds the kind of upper body that doesn't round forward at a desk, doesn't ache after a long day, and doesn't slowly drift into the position that makes you look 10 years older than you actually are. The carry isn't just training your grip and your core, it's training your posture every single step. And the only way to get that benefit is to hold the position your body is trying to abandon. The fourth mistake is the one that's costing people the most, and it's the reason so many give up on the farmer's walk before they ever see what it can do. It's not about form or weight or speed. It's about how the entire exercise is being approached, and the misunderstanding behind it runs deeper than you might realize. The mistake is treating the farmer's walk like a finisher instead of a main lift. You throw a set or two in at the end of a workout, walk for 30 seconds, and check the box. You treat it like an afterthought, something you do because you saw a video about it once, and then you wonder why the strength you were promised never actually arrives. Here's where it gets even deeper. The farmer's walk is one of the most demanding total body strength exercises in existence when it's loaded and programmed correctly. Your grip, your core, your shoulders, your traps, your hips, and your posture are all working at the same time under a real load. That kind of integrated demand is exactly what builds the strength that shows up in real life. The kind that lets you carry your kid up the stairs without thinking about it, lift heavy boxes without your back complaining, and move through your day with a body that feels capable instead of fragile. But that only happens when you give the exercise the respect it deserves. That means working up to carries of 45 seconds to a minute and a half with weights that genuinely challenge you. It means doing 3 to 4 sets, not one quick lap. It means treating the carry like the main event, not the cleanup at the end. When you make that shift, the farmer's walk stops feeling like cardio with weights and starts feeling like the exercise that quietly rebuilds your entire body from the inside out. Now here's the 60-second test I mentioned earlier, and this is the part that's going to make the rest of this useful. Grab a pair of dumbbells or kettlebells that you'd normally use for farmer's walks. Set a timer for 60 seconds. Pick them up, stand tall, and start walking at the slow, deliberate pace we talked about. Pay attention to what fails first. If your grip starts slipping before the 30-second mark, the weight is right, but your grip needs more work, which means mistake 1 is your main issue, and you need to go heavier more often. If you feel yourself speeding up without meaning to, mistake 2 is the one robbing your results. If you catch your shoulders rounding forward or your chest collapsing somewhere around the 45-second mark, mistake 3 is the silent thief in your training. And if you can carry the weight for the full minute without much challenge anywhere, mistake 4 is your real issue. You're going too light or treating it too casually to ever build the strength this exercise is capable of giving you. That test takes 1 minute and it tells you exactly where to start. Most people skip this kind of honest self-assessment and stay stuck for months wondering why nothing is changing. You don't have to be one of them. Look, FitZip isn't about chasing the next trendy exercise. It's about taking the simple, proven movements and doing them well enough that your body actually changes. If you want the full system that fixes the foundational issues holding your training back, the link to the Reset Your Body Blueprint is in the description below.